Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, all you gunts and guntesses. We're I'm Legal Vices, and we are here for a show tonight. It's the culmination of a few weeks of work and effort on both of our parts. The conclusion of the interrogation videos for the Alec Baldwin shooting. Where are we all checking in from? Got to do our quick little checkup here to see what's happening. Hey, you guys have been active before I got here. I am just running on empty here. I have done zero back of the shop setup that I normally do. I just hit the ground running. It's one of those things, as most of you probably know. I am going to be leaving on vacation in about 36 hours from now for 2 weeks. And it's one of those deals where, hey, you're leaving for 2 weeks. So here's as much work as we can possibly give you to do in the next 2 days, so we don't have to do it while you're gone for 2 weeks. So I haven't had a lot of time. Let's see, I'm trying to see if there's anything that needs to be quickly responded to in the pre-stream chat. Spiders don't eat much, flycatchers. Okay. The weird shit you guys talk about is just amazing to me sometimes. All right, chat's back and forth. Hey Jeff, I shamelessly plugged your Uvalde coverage on Twitter yesterday. Salty Buddha Unbreaded, thank you so much for that. That is deeply appreciated, and it should be shameless. You should never be ashamed of my streams. Donna Hannaford, one of my lovely mods, thank you. No, I have not tripped over the dog. I tried to get her to leave the room, but she's asleep on the armchair behind me. Sunshinery, thank you so much for your moddedness. That's great. Keep pumping me. Well, that sounds odd, doesn't it? Keep pumping me in the chat. No, you know what I mean. All my mods that are here, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. We couldn't do this without you. Please give some love to the mods. We're going to get ready to get into this, and I don't think we need any background on this because I don't know what he's going to say. All I know is I think there's some shady shit going on this set, and the first 3 people that we've done the interrogation, well, the first 4 people, I guess we can exclude Alec Baldwin, who was the first. And again, Alec Baldwin's interrogation was one of my very first videos I ever did. So if you go back 6-8 weeks, you'll see it there. But the next 3 witnesses, Hannah Gutierrez Reed, the armorer, Seth Kinney, I believe his name was, who was the arms supplier for the place, and what's her nuts, Sarah. There's so many people here, I can't keep them all straight. And Sarah, we finished up her. So these 3 have some sort of weird triangle going on. I'm getting vibes that Seth and Sarah were knocking boots, and they were trying to maybe set the lovely lady up to get fired. The lovely lady being the tough as nails, goofball, completely irresponsible armorer, Hannah. But other people are saying that Hannah and Seth were a deal. But what we do know is that Seth recommended Hannah be hired as the armorer for the show, and he'd also had previous dealings with Sarah, the prop master. So they got this weird little tangly thing going on that just doesn't look right. Seth worked extra hard during his interrogation to point the finger at Hannah, the armorer, calling her idiot and stupid and careless and all that, which maybe she is. But on the other side, he was trying very, very hard to ease any finger pointing that could be done at Sarah, the prop master. Oh, she's so sweet. She's the nicest girl you'd ever see. Now, what do I think actually happened so far, listening to these weapons people and the directors and Alec? Well, I haven't listened to the director yet, and Alec Baldwin. What I think happened was there was a whole lot of negligence going on the set. There was a whole lot of irresponsibility. People were lazy. They were lackadaisical. There were no protocols in place, and if there were, they certainly weren't followed. There's no inventories being done. They're leaving ammunition just laying around on tables. There's rumors of live ammunition being used for target practice or whatever during breaks. There's bags and bags of ammunition that show up mysteriously. There, people are wearing bags that have lots of pockets for them to mix and match. It was just incompetence. It was just it was a shit show. That's what I think happened. There was way too few controls, way too few protocols being followed, and a shitty, horrific accident happened because literally everyone, from the armorer to the prop mistress or master, to the prop master, to the guy that was supplying the weapons, and I'm assuming, well, also to Alec Baldwin, who was the very last person to hold the weapon before it went off, and I'm assuming David Halls, the assistant director. All of them were just fucking around. And accidents happen when you fuck around with guns. So that's what I think happened, actually, really, at this point. It was a horrific accident caused by complete incompetence, complete indifference, and complete laziness on nearly everyone involved. Now, there's the conspiracy side of my brain, which I try to keep completely separate, that says Seth, the supplier guy, did not like Hannah, wanted her fired because she yelled at Sarah for darn near shooting her foot off with a with a round that, thank God, was a blank. And maybe perchance those two colluded to set Hannah up to have an accident on set, maybe put a round through a barn or through a chair or something, and make people go, oh my God, she really is incompetent. I think we need to do something about her. Well, that theory happened to be, if you watch the last one we did, the part 2 interrogation of Sarah, the prop master, her lawyer expressed exactly that theory, the exact theory that the conspiracy side of my brain was playing around with. So, we'll see what happens. But let's go and give a listen to the testimony. We'll jump in right now to the interrogation. We got a bunch of things going on here in the background that I have set myself up for streaming failure tonight. All right, here we go. I would say some of you are saying I'm buffering. Is anyone else other than one person having some buffering issues? Oh yeah, thank you, thank you, Marloka, for reminding me. Grift time. Hope you have a great vacation. Enjoy. Oh, thank you so much. I absolutely will. I appreciate that super chat deeply. Not only because you made the donation, but it reminded me to grift. All of you that are here, please do me a favor and like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. The likes really, really help me out. I don't have any idea where we are on likes right now because I don't have any of that set up. I usually have the numbers off to the side here, these likes and the subscription rate that's going, the live subscriptions and live likes, but I don't have it set up here yet tonight. We'll probably have to try to sneak that in at some point. But yeah, please, if you haven't already done so, there's 165 of you here now, and I have zero idea how many likes there are, but I bet there's not 165. So get on it, get down there, hit that like button. And if you've joined us for 1 or 2 videos, or even if this is your first time and you're interested in what we talk about, hit that subscribe button. And those of you that have already subscribed, and this is very, very important, those of you that have already subscribed, go down there and check and make sure you are still subscribed. I've had several people tell me they've been unsubscribed from my channel by YouTube. YouTube seems to be going through one of these purges. Those of you that know Fair and Balanced, her entire channel got demonetized randomly. Other people are getting a chunk of their viewers unsubscribed. People aren't getting notifications. So check on down there. Check on down there and make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. And as Marloka has done, the one sure way to make sure that I read your comments, I answer whatever questions you want to ask, read whatever statement you want to make, is to do it through the super chats. It comes up in big bright colors. It draws my attention, and you have gone above and beyond what is expected by making a monetary donation. So there is no way I can ignore those comments. That's the surefire way to get my attention, to get your things read and me talk about it, is the super chats. All righty. Oh, lovely. Swan Lake Lady says, good morning from a very hot Brigham City, Utah. I will be passing through Brigham City, Utah in about 36, 48, about 50 hours from now. Lovely. 100 degrees. Looking forward to that. Uh-huh. All right. Well, we'll deal with Utah when I get to Utah. I've got to still have to deal with Korea here tonight. Alrighty, as I said a few minutes ago, 3 or 4 minutes ago, let's jump into the video and see where it's going. This video is an hour long, so the way I ramble, it should probably be about 6.5 hours before we finish the program. Just kidding. I hope not. I've got things to do. All right, well, we'll do a bigger screen. Here we go. David Halls, and this is Circus, Crime Circus is the channel that I pull these videos from. It's a great deal if you're interested in police interrogations. He does a great job of collecting and uploading these things. This is his playlist for the Alec Baldwin interrogations. And one thing, when I get back from vacation, I'm going to see if I can get him on here. Drip Drop is in. I think I'm going to try to get him on my stream to talk to him about why he does what he does. That would be fun. So that's my goal when I get back, is to have the guy who does this channel where we pull the seeds, hey, my Beavers unit is here. Another one of my mods has graced me with her presence and honored you with her service. Here we go. David Halls from Crime Circus. And again, I haven't watched these.
Is it David? And what's your last?
That's a great camera angle. Joycatcher lived in American Fark. She lived in American Fark. That's how you pronounce that in Utah. It's not American Fork. It's American Fark, where they drink milk and sleep on pillows. So anyway, again, I haven't watched this video. This is the first time going through. This is the first time going through, and I know this is the first time for the vast majority of the people in the chat here. So please, if you've seen the video, if you've seen this video and you know what's happening, do not give any spoilers. Let us all feel and experience the idiocy together, because I'm assuming, judging by the previous interviews and interrogations, there's going to be more idiocy involved. So let's do that. I'll give you my reactions and comments, and go ahead and let me know yours.
Last name?
Halls, Halls.
All right, cowboy.
Okay. And this is not to, I don't want to like intimidate you or anything, but it's just due to that there is an active investigation going on, and we have to advise you of your rights. It's part of our policy, okay?
Again, what's the rule here? Shut the fuck up. Whenever you're questioned by the cops, the only thing out of your mouth should be a distinct, unambiguous statement along the lines of, I will not answer any questions until I have my lawyer present, or I am exercising my right to an attorney. That's it. Because even if they're just interviewing you without reading your rights, what you say during the interview is very unlikely to be able to be used in a court of law. But what you say in an interview where they haven't read you your rights can very quickly lead to them reading you your rights and going back over the same questions. It's never a wise thing to go into this room or any room, even remotely like it, or even on a street corner or in your car, to talk to a cop. They are not your friends, regardless of what they say, and that's how they all start. Oh, we just have a few things to clear up. We just want to clear up a few things. We just have a few basic questions for you. And especially this interviewer, I believe this is the sheriff's office. She is an amazing interrogator. she's very Columbo-like. She seems like she doesn't know what she's doing. She seems to be asking innocuous questions, and then she just kind of goes for the throat and pulls out a lot of really damaging testimony or explanation from people that even have their lawyers there. She's very, very good. I like her as an investigator. So let's see if there's a lawyer hidden somewhere in this room. Somehow, I really doubt it.
All right. So before we ask you any questions, you must understand your rights as follows.
nice skipping through high speed scrolling through the right. If they read you your rights, you are there officially as a suspect. If they read you your rights, there is no reason to open your mouth without a lawyer present. They're not your friend. I cannot emphasize it that much. And especially that part where they say, if you cannot afford one, one will be provided for you. Then you just have to start that in motion. I want a lawyer. I cannot afford one. Appoint one. And then you go through the paperwork, and there's usually a public defender hanging around the police station or very, very close to the police station who they kind of go to for the people that don't have a lawyer and can't afford one on the spot. They'll usually have like an emergency defender there. But yeah, he's being read his rights. Anything he says, literally from this point, they can and will use it against him in court. These are some very, very important rights he's going to give up.
And then at any time, I know you're just given some pretty bad news. If at any time you need a break or a breather, just let us know, okay? How long have you been working on this movie?
I prepped it for 4 weeks. Just starting our 3rd week.
You said you've been out there a week?
I've been prepping it for 4 weeks, and we've been shooting this is the start of our 3rd week.
Okay. So can you just start at the beginning of the day and kind of tell us how the day went?
This is body cam footage.
Fine and typical movies that day.
Diver down. Can you analyze why the camera pans left? I think this is a body cam worn on her chest. That looks like her left arm here. So I think it's just a body cam. Usually they have a camera in the corner and one in the ceiling. For some reason, this is body cam time.
We weren't really rushing it, especially when it comes to times when we're moving with guns.
So what time did the day start today?
Yes. 6:30.
Scanning through this whole hour is going to be on body cam. Lovely. It has such great audio.
And what is your role?
I'm the first assistant director.
And he worked on Matrix Reloaded, I saw today.
So what are you in charge of?
I'm in charge of scheduling the movie, disseminating information to the crew about what we're doing every day, every hour.
A dog snoring on the floor here behind me. Sorry about that. If you hear snoring, it's not me.
Pictures up, roll sound. I'm also the safety coordinator.
What does the safety coordinator entail?
Oh God, he's the safety coordinator. No wonder they read him his rights.
Overseeing all the departments and making sure that they're following the right protocols for whatever stunt or gunfire.
Okay. So you work pretty closely with the armorers, then I would assume. Okay. Who is on the armorer team?
Well, Hannah, I don't remember her last name.
Okay.
So,
Jesus Christ, people. This is very, very, very indicative of the laziness, the incompetence, the general I don't give a fuckingness that's going on this set. The first assistant director who's in charge of safety doesn't know who the armorer is, especially when her father is some big shot in the industry. He doesn't know what her last name is. even though he's one of the key people, and she is one of the key people on a Western cowboy shoot 'em up movie. Hannah, she is the one that's in charge of locking up the weapons, making sure everything is secure in the prop van. She knew there was some guy that she thought maybe locked up the weapons and the bullets at night. What's his name? Oh, I don't know his name. He was Hispanic. He had a mustache and was middle build. That was her description of the guy who is in charge of securing and protecting the weapons when they're not in use. And they're in New Mexico. Hispanic, mustache, and middle-sized probably describes about 70% of New Mexico. Sarah had the same thing. Her describing the guy in charge of protecting the weapons, the Hispanic gentleman, was no better. So we have these people that are working closely with each other and trusting each other literally with their lives. The safety guy doesn't know the armorer's last name. The armorer doesn't know the guy who keeps the guns and bullets under lock and key's name. This is silly.
And then Sarah, I don't know her last name either.
And he doesn't know. And oh my, the director doesn't know the fucking prop master's last name. All right, let's see if we can get to, let's see, we'll bring up the captions here for those of you that are asking for it and see if, yeah, okay. We'll see how the captions do.
Prop master, but helps Hannah. I think all that whole prop department, there was a third person that came on. I don't think she was there at the beginning. I never.
Probably talking about Nicole.
Okay. And are you in charge of them?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
You are, or you're not. What do you mean you guess
Yeah,
so?
I'm their supervisor, I suppose. Yeah.
Okay, you're their supervisor. You don't know
so this
one's
morning,
name, and you don't
I
know
guess,
the two names of the others.
Let's start there. Were their weapons pulled out on scene, or did you use? Okay, can you?
Okay, this is the day of the shooting. Then this is probably right after Alec Baldwin and Hannah was interviewed first. She gave the police sample bullets to look at. Then Alec Baldwin was questioned, and he was looking at the bullets and fucking around with the bullets. And he found, right at the end of his interview, that's when they found out that the cinematographer had died. So he probably followed right after Alec Baldwin. So he's still dealing with finding out that the cinematographer is dead.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, the actors, there were 3 actors. They played U.S. Marshals, and they had revolvers in their holsters.
Okay. Anybody else?
Well, then we got done with that scene, and then we went into the church where the incident happened, and Alec Baldwin's character had a revolver in his holster.
The sound of bourbon.
In the morning, who pulls out the weapons?
The armor.
And that's Hannah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hannah who?
And
Can't tell
where
me,
are
can
they
ya?
stored?
She has a truck. Overnight, or when they're not being used, they're on her truck.
They're on her
Is
truck.
it her personal vehicle, or is it for the set?
I never saw. I think it's a truck. It's not her personal truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And does anybody else have access to that truck?
Not that I'm aware of.
Just her?
It's an open truck throughout the day.
Okay. So where are the guns when they're not being used?
So I don't. On the truck.
Remember, he said he was in charge of safety on set. Where are the guns? I don't know. On the truck? All right. We've still got like an hour to go, and my blood pressure's already going up. I don't know how everybody isn't going to be charged with something at the end of the day. I'm assuming some people are going to flip on other people and get deals or avoid prosecution by doing this kind of thing. But people have got to go down for this. Literally nobody knows what the hell is going on this movie set. This is an independent film, apparently a pet passion project of Alec Baldwin, who is the producer of the film, the star of the film. He's got low rent armorers, low rent prop people. This guy who, like I said, apparently worked on Matrix 3 Reloaded and maybe, I would assume, a bunch of other films, don't have any idea what's going on. There's no safety. Safety guy apparently has no clue what's going on safety-wise on set.
But I don't know where precisely she stores that.
Okay.
You missed
So
100%.
I guess I'm kind of confused as her, if you're her supervisor, there's no one overseeing her when.
No, there's 10 different departments, and they're all pretty autonomous. I'm not directly in their business about everything,
So you're their supervisor, but you're not necessarily their supervisor. There's 10 departments, you say, and you can't name the last name of 2 of the most important departments. Congratulate. And I don't know how much of this is up to he's just found out that the cinematographer died. He was there on set for his shooting. I don't know how much of this is messing with his brain, but he literally seems to be completely oblivious of everything. This is nuts.
I've been doing this for 30 years. I've never been on a prop track. I've never.
Who would directly be her supervisor then?
See, it's this whole movie business thing is weird. It's not set up like, normal corporation.
She didn't ask if it was set up by a normal corporation. She asked who was the supervisor.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there really no, protocols or checks when it comes to this
Yes.
or handling of weapons?
On set there is, yes. Absolutely, there's protocols.
Okay.
Yeah.
But not for storage and.
Not that I'm aware of. I've never seen that language.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
And you don't know whose truck it is?
I think it's a rental truck. The company rents these trucks.
What company?
I don't know the name of the company.
You don't know the name of the Trump company that rents the truck that holds the weapons on your movie set. Great.
Well, it would be the unit production manager and the line producer.
Okay.
And they're the people that rent the equipment time, negotiate the deals with different companies.
Okay. Who do the guns belong to?
Who owns them?
Mm-hmm.
They're, my experience is they're usually rented from a gun rental house.
Okay. But you don't know for sure.
In this case, I don't know.
You don't know if they were rented locally or from somewhere
I
else.
don't.
Man, they're going straight for him.
Okay. All right. So in the morning when, these guns were put on the actors, who is in charge of putting them on the actors? So Hannah did that this morning.
Yes.
Is there anybody that checks the guns?
Yes.
Who does?
Her and I.
Okay. Did you check them this morning?
Yes.
All of them?
Wow. Okay. So again, he's just said he's in charge of checking the weapons, which includes making sure they don't have live ammo in them. He's just said that he checked every one of those weapons that day. Have a lawyer with you when you do this shit, guys. That's not an answer that you want.
So Hannah did that this morning.
Yes.
Is there anybody that checks the guns?
Yes.
Who does?
Her and I.
Okay. Did you check them this morning?
Yes.
All of them?
Yes.
And was there anything out of the ordinary?
The gun's first thing in the morning was not the gun in question.
Okay.
The gun in question is the gun that Alec Baldwin had.
Okay.
So,
Okay, that was good. That was a good deflection. Yeah, the guns that we looked at in the morning had nothing to do with the shooting. We just need to worry about. That was a good statement. It only took him 11 minutes to make one good statement.
I can tell you what the safety protocols are.
Oh, please
let's
do.
start there.
She gives me the gun. I look down the barrel, make sure that there's no obstructions in the barrel. Most of the time, there's no live fire. They just have them on themselves
Okay.
as a prop or as a costume
Mhm.
piece. And then she opens up, for a revolver, she opens up the hatch, and
The hatch, the
what do you
cylinder.
call it, the drum. See, it's empty, it's empty.
Okay.
And I say, okay, cold guns on set. That's how we do it. You want to get into the
Yes.
incident?
Let's go there.
Jesus, dude. Oh my God. He's all right. He's one of these guys that can't be bothered. That thinks he's doing you a favor by answering these questions. Do you want me to tell you about the protocols? Well, sure. Go ahead. Talk some more, Chief. All right. Well, now do you want me to get into what happened that day? Why, let's do that if you want to talk about that. She doesn't really have to do much interrogation here. He seems to be interrogating himself, somehow asking all the right questions and giving all the wrong answers. Wow. Well, let's see what he has to say about the incident.
Okay. I was the closest person to Alec Baldwin when it happened.
Oh my God.
The scene took place in a church, an old church, 19th century church, 1800s church. Typical pews on the side. Let's say you're sitting in a pew, and I'm standing right here.
Says Alec Baldwin. Sorry, that was childish.
And we're doing a shot. It's a tight shot. He's sitting in this church. He's been all shot up, and these two U.S. Marshals come in. And it was a very tight shot of him pulling out the gun from his holster.
This is just him practicing. This isn't when the gun went
no
off, this little
plan of
inset.
Firing. There was no need of putting any kind of blanks in it or anything. It was just a tight shot of him pulling it out and going like this. Now, when you're shooting a tight shot of a gun, if you don't have what we call dummy loads in it, an audience member that knows anything about guns is going to go, that gun's not loaded. So
Okay.
you put these dummy loads in. And the dummy loads, from all of my experience, is they have like a little BB or something, and people said it's like clay inside the casing. And you shake it, that's how you know it's a dummy load.
Correct.
Also, if the primer is depressed, it's a dummy load because it shows you that this bullet, this casing, that bullet has been fired.
Also
Okay.
correct.
And then a lot of times they have a hole drilled in the side.
Also correct.
So you know it's a dummy round. So
what could be wrong with that? What could be wrong with what he's doing? He's being helpful. He's simply saying, okay, there's basically three kinds of dummy rounds we use. One with BBs that rattle when you shake them, ones that have holes drilled in the side, and one with the primer already dented in. That seems pretty harmless, doesn't it? Just helping the police understand what a dummy round is. What he's done in actuality is he's just told the police two, maybe three very important things. He's told the police, number one, he knows the difference between dummy bullets and live bullets. He knows all the different kinds of dummy bullets, and he knows the difference, how to distinguish them from a live bullet. Number two, he said he was in charge of inspecting the weapons. 3, he said he was the one that's in charge of safety on the set. So, safety, in charge of, oh my God, he's just said that he knows what he's doing. He can differentiate them. He's an expert in this. He knows how to tell the differences. He inspected it, and he's in charge of safety. That's what he said. They seem to be very innocuous when you take them one at a time. But when you put them together, that means he's not an ignorant person. He knows, and that points to negligence on his part, because as someone who can tell the difference and as someone who checks the rounds and checks the weapons and is in charge of checking the weapons, so obviously something went wrong. Obviously he did something wrong because someone's dead. This is a prime example of why you need to have a lawyer with you during these questioning, so they can interrupt it and they can rephrase questions, they can redirect it, and they can help you be less self-snitchy. Wow.
Hannah brought me the gun. It was empty at the time.
Okay.
She said, I want to check the gun with you. She did all the things that we just talked about. Then she came back and said, I put dummy loads in it, dummy rounds. She opened up the hatch, and I saw 3 bullets that all had depressed primers.
Okay.
On it. Okay.
So hold on. All right.
Get him, cop.
So you said when she showed you the first time, the gun was empty. When was that?
It was moments before we actually, put the dummies. Might have been 5 minutes.
Okay, so within pretty. Okay, so then.
Okay, that is a definite contradiction with what Hannah, the armorer, and Sarah, the prop master, said happened. They said they loaded 5 rounds into Alec Baldwin's gun before lunch. The 6th bullet wouldn't go in, so they had to clean that particular chamber out after, and then they put in another round after lunch. He's saying that it was empty until about 5 minutes before the shooting. He's either confused, either he's lying, or either the other two are lying. That is a big discrepancy to say he checked it and it was empty 5 minutes before the shooting. Holy geez. Brandon, thanks. Thank you so much for this ridiculous but much appreciated super chat. Don't worry, don't cry. Drink some whiskey before you fly. Stay unbreaded on your chip, Jeffrey. Oh, thank you very much, Brandon. I will, and I am drinking some whiskey. Deeply appreciate that. Thank you. Wow. So, all right, we got to get to the bottom of this. So let's see if our investigators here, our interrogators, bring this up now.
Then 5 minutes later, she brings it back, tells you that there are dummy rounds in it.
Yeah.
Did you see where she loaded the gun?
I did that.
Okay.
Was there a reason for the change from?
Because I think they, somebody decided, oh, we're really tight on the gun. We're gonna have to put dummy loads in. I didn't hear anybody say it.
What does that mean? We're tight on the
Sometimes
gun.
I'll say it. Oh, it looks like we're gonna have to put dummy rounds in it.
Okay, tight shot.
Nobody had requested. I didn't.
So this time you don't know why there was a change.
Not for certain. I can only make some assumptions. You want to hear it?
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure that the director of photography, who just passed, probably said, we're in tight on the gun. Or maybe Hannah saw the shot and said, we need to put dummy rounds in it.
So it's not untypical for something like that to happen.
No,
Okay.
it's typical.
And you only saw the 3.
I only saw the 3.
Okay. Do you normally check all of them, or what do you usually do?
Should.
Okay.
You should. And is that what happened this time?
No. Didn't. I don't remember. If she might have spun it, I don't know. But I recall seeing 3 primers depressed.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, I'm speculating. Of course, it wasn't a bullet, because these bullets were 45 caliber dummy loads. that would have thrown her across the room. It would have ripped her shoulder off, you know? So I can say with certainty that it was a blank. But these blanks have stuff, you know, like wadding or whatever. People say, I've heard people say this like pieces of wax or something, you know, that kind of hold the powder together.
Mm-hmm.
And they still have powder in them.
Yeah.
Do you know who the manufacturer is of the dummy rounds? Okay. And it's okay if you don't know stuff. Would you consider yourself pretty gun savvy?
Don't say yes. Don't say yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good. For fuck's sakes, he finally did one thing right. She finally did one thing. He finally did one thing right. A lot of people would say yes to that question because they don't want to appear stupid. They don't want to seem like they don't know what they're talking about. But he's already said he knows how to tell bullets apart. That's the problem. And he said that he checked 3 of the rounds. That leaves 2 and or 3, depending on one time he checked. But he did answer the question right. And that's the last thing he needed to be said. Yes, I'm an expert in guns.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't know how to.
So then you're saying that with certainty, it was not a real bullet, that it was, in fact, a dummy round. What makes you...
Well, I'm not a forensics expert, but I'm thinking that if it was a 45 caliber bullet, it would do a heck of a lot more damage than what we saw.
Can you tell me what you saw?
I didn't see the wound.
Good.
I saw the wound on the director.
Okay.
It was told to me where it went in her and out.
And what were you told?
That it went in her right armpit and came out here.
Okay.
And then hit the director in his right shoulder. So
Yeah, do what you need to
say
do.
you're Alec Baldwin, and I'm right here. The DP was probably about right here.
Okay.
And they were lining up the shot, looking at a monitor. And my speculation is that she was like this, and the director was looking over her shoulder at the monitor. And then when the gun went off, you know, she might have been like this. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
But you know,
Where were you standing when?
Okay, real quick here. I hate to do this, and this is, I believe, the second or third time I've ever done this in my YouTube life. There's a couple in chat that are questioning the mods and giving the mods a hard time. Please do not do that. You may feel like you were wronged. The mods made a decision, gave you a little bit of a breather. It's over. It's done with. Move on, please. I won't, even if you disagree with the decisions my mods make, I won't put up with abusing the mods. They're some of the most liberal mods you will ever see in YouTubedom. I just said, do not fuck with my mods. Seriously, I have no beef with you. You have no beef with them. It was a thing. It was done. It's over and done with. Move on.
It happened.
you're Alec Baldwin, I'm standing here.
Okay, so you were in front of him.
But he's pointing the gun.
This way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine like you're sitting at the end of a pew and the camera is in the aisle
Okay.
between the pews, right? So he's shooting that way.
Okay.
And I'm there's dummy loads in the gun. No,
Hmm.
I had no concern.
Yeah. Where were you watching?
Why would you
at
have
the
no
time
concern? You only
of the-
looked at 3 of
at
the
the time the
bullets.
gun went off?
Just short, yeah.
At him?
Yeah, looking at now.
Okay. Can you tell me what you remember seeing when it went off?
I just remember him taking the gun out of the holster and like that. I can't say for certain if he pulled back the hammer. He said he did, but he didn't pull the trigger.
He didn't pull the trigger.
He said he didn't pull the trigger,
Okay.
and I believe he wouldn't do that.
What about movement of the gun? Do you remember any of that?
And it was just.
Okay. After it went off, what happened then?
Well, and this is right after this happened. So nobody is really sure what's going on. Alec has given several different stories about how whether he pulled it all the way back, whether he pulled it halfway back. Somehow that hammer was pulled back enough and went forward enough to set off the round. Alec Baldwin should have monitored the situation. He should have checked his gun. He should have checked the rounds himself. This guy here was saying he is in charge of safety. He checks the guns. He only checked 3 of the rounds, the ones that he could easily see by looking at the primer caps, whether they were dummies or not. He didn't check whether the other 3 were live or not. So this is the most important part of the entire investigation. And Jennifer Foley asks, did they recover the bullets? Timeout. Dude, I'm sorry. I gave you out. You're out of here. Bye. That shit I will not put up with. I swear to God. I don't know what got in the chat tonight, but knock it the fuck off. Yes, you can say whatever you want, as long as you don't get into terms of service shit that puts my channel in jeopardy. I will fuck you 6 ways to Sunday if that starts happening. Praising school shooters, doing shit like racist shit, stuff like that, stuff that you know as an intelligent fucking human being not to bring to somebody's fucking chat. You want to joke about, gay stuff, gay mod, stupid people. That stuff is cool. That's what we all get with Nick's chat, my chat, Legal Minds, other chats. But when you're going into serious violations of terms of service, it's going to get my ass shut down. And then you go after my mods when they call you on it. Fuck that and fuck you and take a hike. Seriously. That's all. I'm done. He's blocked. That's it. Let's continue. Let's continue to hear about someone got shot and died.
Well, both Helena and the director fell down. And, we do these shots with blanks quite often. And, sometimes you get sprayed a little bit, you feel it.
Okay.
Okay.
And I thought, well, that's just what it is, and I rushed over to her. And, and the director is back there going, what? What the fuck happened? I think he said,
Well, what the fuck happened was the gun went off and killed somebody, dude.
Are you okay? Are you okay? And she said, I can't feel my legs.
Oh, fuck.
And then I remember the director being in pain and immediately was like, call 911. The set medic came in there. We cleared as many people out of there as we could. And, yeah.
Okay. Can you recall where the gun was placed after it went off?
Yes, I do, because I went and retrieved it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't actually answer the question because the in-channel drama. Jennifer Foley asked, did they recover the bullet? They recovered the spent casing. But if you go back and you just have to watch the previous part 2 of Sarah's interrogation we did 2 or 3 days ago. What she did is she, for some reason, which makes no sense and is very, very suspicious, she went and she took the expended round, the one that had gone through the other chick, and by chick I mean cinematographer lady, sorry, had gone through her. She took that round and then she went back to the box of ammunition that it came from, and she literally sorted through and touched all of the other live rounds that were in the box. She found other live rounds, and she had 2 dummies in her hand that for some reason known only to her and God, she threw in the garbage. She threw potential evidence in the garbage. And there was two other rounds from that box that are mysteriously missing that no one could account for. So yeah, they did recover the bullet, but by then Sarah had somehow and for some reason put her fingerprints all over it, carried it around, touched other bullets in the. It's just weird what happened to that bullet and the other bullets after why they didn't just put the damn gun down and say, all right, cops are going to sort this out. Why that didn't happen, I don't know. And while we're here, Benjamin Blatt, thank you so much. Idiots doing idiot things because they're idiots. That is pretty much the description of this entire thing here. They haven't interrogated one person, Alec Baldwin included, that seemed to be remotely competent in what they were doing. A lot of suspicious shit going on here. A lot of things that just don't make sense.
If you're sitting in a pew, you put it down on the pew.
Okay.
And I went in and got the gun. Took it outside with the armor. I said, show me those shells.
Okay.
And I don't know the exact count. I don't know if she fully loaded it. But I remember at least four dummy casings because they had the hole.
You said 3 a minute ago.
And then there was one casing that didn't have a hole in it.
It's a rough situation to be
So were
in.
they all removed from the gun?
Yes.
Did all of them have the cap on them? Like the bullet?
No.
Like what would have been the projectile? The gray.
You mean the lead?
That's funny. I don't recall.
That's probably an honest answer.
I think so. It seems like they would be, but I don't know. I was so focused on that one that didn't have a cap on it.
The one that didn't have the cap, can you remember if it still had the gray on it or not?
Oh no, it didn't.
It did not.
No, it was a casing. It was a shell casing.
But you said, I think you said that one didn't have the holes in the sides.
Right.
Okay. And, okay, so you grabbed the gun from inside, gave it to her. Where did you guys disassemble the gun?
Just right outside the door. She has a cart that
Okay.
she normally wants when she keeps everything.
Did anything on that cart appear suspicious or out of the ordinary? Okay. And I just want to really confirm 5 minutes prior to her loading these with dummy rounds, it was empty. Okay.
Well, that was a stupid question. That is, I think, the first stupid question that the investigator has asked. So 5 minutes before it was loaded, it was empty. Yeah. It was empty like a microsecond before it was loaded. That was a kind of a dumb question. And again, she doesn't ask dumb questions, so perhaps there was a reason for it. We'll just have to see. Soy Mafia, does Jeff own Second Amendment tools in Utah? Yes, he does. Jeff does own Second Amendment tools in Utah, and he will be using his Second Amendment tools in Utah as soon as possible after he arrives. Brandon Lesko, thank you so much. When are you in Vegas? If you haven't been to the Rhino before, I feel like that's a place I feel before I feel a legal obligation to urban myself and escort you to the escorts. Yeah, well, I'll be with my son, my sister, and her 4 children, so the chances of that happening are 0. But I appreciate the offer.
So could have been sooner. Could have been less than that.
But it wasn't
It
in the
can be.
morning.
No.
That.
So let's go to your experience, because you're in charge of the safety and everything. And so you've been doing this 30 years, you said?
I'm not in charge of safety. I coordinate the safety,
Okay.
but there's some.
You
things that,
coordinate the
know,
safety.
like
You said you were in
not my
charge of
expertise
safety at
that
the
I
beginning.
like that's why it's called a coordinator,
Okay.
Oh, now he's the
So-
safety coordinator. Okay.
But-
not a control. Because I don't know anything about car crashes. I can't.
Mhm. But you're the second person to inspect the gun
Mhm,
alongside Hannah.
mhm.
What is your experience in that? Like, you're familiar with
Yeah.
inspecting things because you've done this
Yeah.
for 30 years.
Yeah.
And nothing different than before?
And it's just the question of just spinning the thing, and making sure that they were all depressed pistons or primers.
But you're familiar and know how to know when it's a dummy round.
Yes.
Going back on experience, how long have you worked with Hannah?
That's my first job with her.
Okay. And what's your impression of her?
Fine, I'm not used to seeing a female armor and an armor of that age.
Okay.
No
Has
offense.
right. Over the past, or however long that you've been working with her, has there been anything to, give you flags that she would do something to this level?
No. I mean, we had a couple misfires, meaning that the gun would go off in transport, like would be pointed down the ground, it would go off. But that happens sometimes.
No, it doesn't.
But no, I mean, she was very diligent.
Guns go off in transport. That happens sometimes. If that ever happens, that is indicative of some serious problems on the set. Guns just don't misfire sometimes. That was a really, really stupid thing for him to say. I mean, that right there is a great indicator there's some sort of systematic negligence going on that set. If it happens sometimes, if that's just part of the business. That's not something you want to be admitting to, really, that there's lots of misfires going on and it just happens sometimes. Especially if you're the safety coordinator. Book him down. Oh, come on, man. Stop the talking. Let's clear the interview. If you're talking about me stopping the talking, this is what we do here. We provide commentary, points, legal insights, and interrogation technique, critique, and review, things like that on here. So we start and stop the video. If you just want to watch the interview straight through, you can go to Crime Circus right here, right to the source, and just watch it through without all of the legal commentary from Legal Vices on his legal channel. If you're talking about him, David Hall, stopping talking, then yeah, I agree with you. He should probably stop talking real quick and end his interview until his lawyer shows up. Hijabs for all. I don't know if people can see the legal advice. Please don't go down the road of banning people and allowing people to ban. It will ruin your show. Again, you may not be aware, but hey, everybody is entitled to opinion, but some opinions are in violation of the YouTube terms of service. And if you look at a lot of creators, especially a lot of people here that covered the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial in a way that is not particularly flattering to Amber Heard, and smaller YouTube channels are getting blasted these days for all kinds of violations and things. You're entitled to your opinions, but not as long as they violate YouTube's terms of service. And that's kind of it. As I said, there has been very, very, very few people that have ever been banned from this channel. And as long as people learn to express opinions in a proper way that doesn't put my channel at risk, I don't care. And I don't want to talk about this anymore. Everybody, you're still here. Enjoy it. You know, you may have to moderate your opinion to express your opinion in a way that doesn't potentially end my channel. So don't worry about it. But yeah, get back to this weird interview here.
Never a gun on that set that wasn't checked.
Okay.
And I understand she has 2 other females that assist her on this. And your impression of them, their work ethic and experience? No issues.
I don't know how anybody that age could have that much experience in guns.
Meaning Hannah.
All 3 of them.
All 3 of them? They're all pretty young.
Are you aware of, her past or?
No, I heard something that she could, like, her family or her father is a big time armor. Very well known armor.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I have no knowledge.
Would you consider this incident to be more of an accident, or would you say it was deliberate?
Oh, it's an accident.
Okay, that's a good question. Brandon, let's go. I'll say it for you. Everyone stop harassing the mods and fix your daddy issues elsewhere. Get a line. Let Jeff focus on the show. And let Brendan continue. Let Brandon continue to throw money at my feet. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Has David... Wait, where do we go? Has David even seemed upset about the shooting? I would imagine he's probably in a little bit of a shock right now. I mean, this is literally minutes after he found out that the cinematographer has died. But he does seem to be... he does seem to be a little bit lax. He does seem to be a little bit overly unconcerned. He's striking me as not really being incompetent, but just as some of you have been saying, doesn't seem to care about even his own job. It's just whatever, I might be in charge of this. I work with some people, can't be bothered to learn their names. Can't be bothered to check all the weapons, all the bullets in all of the weapons, can't be bothered to find out where they store the weapons that kill people. Again, there hasn't been a normal interrogation here. Everyone has just been weird as hell.
And what makes you say that?
Accident.
At least he thinks it's an accident. Uh-oh.
There's absolutely no reason why that would be deliberate.
Okay.
The DP was a lovely woman. I just think that a live blank round got mixed into that dummy load.
Well, and how would that happen, Mr. Safety Coordinator guy who checked the weapons?
I mean, she's saying that she shook them all and heard them all shake.
And you believed her. That's your problem.
If I brought some of those rounds in, would you be able to identify them for me?
Sure.
Okay.
This is why the video is only an hour. You fast forward through these things.
Me and Dan were in Bruges, Louisiana. Low budget horror film. I don't. Yeah, they look like the rounds.
You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to have live rounds on the movie set.
That's
the mystery. How
I've
they
been
got
told
there.
indicates that it's a dummy round.
Okay, he shakes it. He rattles.
I don't think that's a depressed primer. I don't remember them being snub-nosed, but I wasn't really paying attention. For some reason, when he showed me these snub-nosed, I went, I don't remember those being snub-nosed. I really don't remember. If this is one of them, I don't remember all the ones that I saw, except the casing.
God damn it.
That didn't have the hole in it. Every round that I saw, except one, had the hole in it. That's my recollection.
Okay.
All right, ladies and germs, we're on subscribers only mode now.
So
That
like
sucks.
the second one
Without the bullet.
without the bullet. Okay. And this was after you had her clear the gun.
Yes.
Who else has access to the ammo cart?
Nobody should.
Is it ever left out?
I think so. Yeah.
So some people could have it's there.
It's there.
Anybody could have it.
Now, look, I can't tell you. I can't recall ever walking by one of those carts and making a note, oh, there's a box of ammo. I really can't. So I know when we went to clear the gun, there was boxes of ammo.
What's the protocol on scene for live ammo?
For live ammo? Well, it depends on certain situations, if you're indoors or what kind of smoke level you want to come out of the gun.
No, I'm talking real bullets.
Oh, I never use real bullets.
What? Well, there was obviously one on set.
Never. Even if you have to show something on the ground, like dust or something, it's always done with a dust gun, or they put a little pyrotechnic they call squibs, little firecrackers that have an electric charge. You bury a cable, if you need.
Baby doll, didn't they use live rounds on break for fun and target practice? That's the allegation. That's the rumors. Nobody's confirmed it yet.
Beyond
None of the
It's
interrogees.
the realm of thought.
Okay. And is there protocols in place to ensure that doesn't happen?
No.
That wasn't a good thing to say either. I mean, not for him particularly, but that's the wrong answer if you're Alec Baldwin's production company. That's definitely the wrong answer if you're the armorer. There's no protocols for preventing live rounds from being introduced. That's a bad thing. Again, for him, it probably doesn't really mean much, but he's just basically said the producer is incompetent and hasn't set any protocols or rules for avoiding the situation. And that same producer happened to be the same actor that actually fired, shot, and killed someone.
Yeah, I really want you to understand this, and it's kind of hard.
And that's really
I
what
haven't been around it. Look, again, I don't know if there's been any forensics done. There's probably not.
There hasn't been any forensics done. It's
But
been a
if
couple of hours, dude.
This is a 45. You guys know more than I do what a 45 does for the body, right?
Mhm.
And it probably would have gone right through the director too, and through the wall and back of him. I'm not an expert, but I don't think that there was any way that a real 45 caliber bullet was on the set. It was a blank. It was a blank, but I don't know what's inside those blanks. Yeah.
So your experience with blanks,
Yeah.
how much power or damage or anything have you seen? Before.
I've never seen any damage. And when there's different levels of loads, there's a quarter load, a half load, and a full load.
And an eighth
And
load.
sometimes it all depends on what the level of smoke you need. It's a quarter load sometimes doesn't produce a lot of smoke. So if you want more smoke, you would go to a half load.
Okay.
A full load is rarely used, especially indoors because they're loud. And we follow the safety protocols. We provide ear protection. If you're anywhere in the line of fire, eye protection is available. Actors are always well trained, and I'm always very aware of this. You never point the gun at somebody. You always point it off. Okay.
Yep.
And you can compensate with camera and to make it look like they're pointing at it. But
Okay, that's a very important thing. Even he knows that even when you are using it as intended in a scene as a prop, that you do not point it at someone, even when it has been checked by 10 or 20 people in this chain of custody from the prop van to the actor's hand. Even if every single person has inspected every single bullet and inspected the weapon to make sure that the barrel is clear, even if you have all done that, you still do not point a weapon at someone. Guess what Alec Baldwin did? Obviously, he was obviously dicking around, practicing with his gun, which apparently he shouldn't have been, doing shit he shouldn't have been doing with it, and in the process, pointing it at least 2 people. Even this dumb guy here, who's only a first assistant director and has done 80 some odd films, even he knows that you shouldn't point it at people. That's the number one rule of guns, that those of us that grew up around guns and have been trained to use guns, that is literally the number one rule. Do not point any type of gun at someone that you do not intend to delete from the face of the planet. Even if you think it's a fake gun, even if you think it's not loaded, even if you think it's got blank, don't point it at someone. Mr. Upper Torso, I don't see criminal charges for Baldwin, but he and his company are going to get gutted in civil court. He and his company are going to get that limited. It's probably a limited liability production company that is insured out the ass, but it's going to get gutted. Criminal charges for Baldwin. If he doesn't face some sort of criminal charges for being the last person to hold that weapon, pull the trigger, and shoot someone, he's going to be the luckiest man on this earth. Michael Usthuzian, Legal Vices, are these interviews admissible in civil case? You can have the weapons. You can have the testimony subpoenaed and entered into evidence. Assuming you do the proper verification. Isabel Rainey, a blank is for smoke effects, right? Yes, basically for smoke and noise. And the greater the load. Can we get back to funny jokes like that? Having full loads and half loads and things. Can we get back with the childish humor on the channel? Release the tension. Yeah, it's for smoke and noise factors. Bass 499, thank you so much for the super chat. I am shocked at how disorganized this whole movie doohickey production has been described. And movie doohickey is not too far from the way people are describing things. The head armorer refers to important parts of weapons as thingies. There's that one part that does something. It's astounding. It really, at this point, we've had a lot of fun going through the previous interviews. Now it's just it's downright damn depressing because there's not a single person involved in this that can stand up and go, I called bullshit. I did everything I was supposed to do. I gave a damn. There's not one single person whose interview we've seen that can say that. It's all been a shit show.
Just the whole thing happened just so fast.
Yeah. Bullets happen pretty fucking quickly, dude.
Any of these, including the blank, any of your prop ammo, has there ever been anything that got, like if you shot at the wall and made a hole or somebody got skimmed by anything, has there ever been a projectile come from one of these?
Never.
What happens
Nice.
with these kind of rounds if you pull a trigger?
Goes bang and kills somebody.
Well, it's empty and the primer, nothing.
Oh, okay. He's talking about if the camera was pointing at the table, we could see she was referring to the
I'm not
bullets
an
on the
expert.
table.
I've just been told by armorers, these are dummy loads because, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so to the extent you've been told by several armorers that those are dummies, you are
No,
now an
I
expert on things
don't
looking
know
like
if
that
you
being
guys-
dummies.
Shoot more guns. I guess that looks like it's been.
There's usually a striking pin
Yeah.
on, yeah,
Right?
a little bit more.
It's-
Indented, but it has a mark.
So I was curious about what you said about the trigger. You said
This is apparently the police
he didn't
body
pull the
cam.
trigger, he's not supposed to pull the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't, because if they're dummies, is there an issue with pulling the trigger?
If you need the actor to pull the
Fake it,
trigger
yeah.
and shot, yeah.
Okay, so you kind of said that he didn't pull the trigger and you believe he didn't want to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to get to is that
Especially
you were
when you get
supposed
people.
to act.
He's just
I didn't
all
know
over the
that
map
was-
with his answers.
Planned. It might not have been planned, I just thought it was a shot of him pulling the gun out of the holster.
Okay. This scene was literally
So okay, let me let her finish the sentence.
just to get him pulling it out.
That's what.
Oh no. All right. Yeah. So this scene here was just supposed to be him pulling it out. He was just supposed to pull it out on set. So that's why he's saying he wasn't supposed to pull the trigger. There was no reason for him to pull the trigger. He says and then he said that Alex said he didn't pull the trigger. He just pulled the hammer back as he was pulling it out. Well, he also pulled the hammer back and pointed it at least two people. So that whole scene was just to film Alex pulling it out on set. And along those lines, Brandon Lesko says, take a load off, Hannah. Take a load for free. Take a load off for Steven. Take a load off for Sarah. And you put the load right on Legal Vices. Just kidding. Should all go right on Baldwin, in my opinion. Take a load off, Hannah. Good song, by the way. All right, that's what we like to see. Jokes about people whipping it out and jokes about loads. There we go.
What my understanding was.
Okay.
We're
but
back
it
on
might have
track.
changed.
I wasn't there, so I'm asking these
Yeah.
questions. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
I understand.
More or less,
the
yes.
information that you just received is hard, and we're here asking you these questions, okay? But we're just trying to get an idea of what took place, what was supposed to take place, and why, if these were what's in there, something came out and hit these two individuals. If it is an accident like you think it may be, what could have caused that accident?
That is a question that every single police officer, every single sheriff, every single anyone investigating a crime will ask you. If it's an accident, how do you think this accident happened? That is a question that every single person gets asked in situations like this. It was an accident. Well, how do you think this? Who fucked? The other way to ask that question, when she's asking what would have caused that accident, she's asking, who do you think fucked up and killed somebody? That's what she's asking. Who do you think fucked up? Who do you think is to blame for this accident? That's a very subtle way of getting you to rat someone else out, or to feel guilt and throw yourself on the sword and say, I guess I could have watched better. I guess I could have done this. Oh, we already did that one. Thank you there. Bass, thank you again for the super chat. Baldwin showing his age, considering he delivered his blast to her armpit and hit another dude. Well, he's got 5 kids, so that should be a suspect already. We already know he's not shooting blanks. Ha. Waka, waka, waka.
Told me he talked to the director of the hospital. And the director told him that the x-ray showed a bullet-shaped object in his shoulder.
Yep.
You probably don't want to. You would know that by now.
Yeah, she was the one that told Alec that there was a bullet in his shoulder. She was the one that showed Alex the x-ray.
How could that not cause more damage?
It doesn't matter why it didn't cause more damage. It killed her. I'd say killing her is pretty much the fucking maximum amount of damage you can do to somebody. See, this is the problem. We watch too many movies where like you see a 45 go into someone and then it makes this giant fucking hole as it comes out the back of them. That's not how it goes. That's not real life. That's movies. So I'm thinking what he's asking here is, why wasn't there more carnage on Joel's body? Why wasn't there more carnage on what was her name? The cinematographer. You don't get that much damage coming out of the round. I mean, they go, it was a through an entire human torso. I mean, if you're using some sort of hollow point, fragmenting thing, it's going to rip some shit up, but that's only in the movies that the bullet goes in and then just blasts a gigantic meteor-sized hole out the back of someone. And does it matter why it didn't do more damage? No, because again, I think making someone dead is just about as much damage as you can do to somebody. And as long as we're paused here about the halfway mark, those of you that are here in chat just joining us and haven't liked and subscribed, please do that. If you like the drama that we have here unnecessarily on the channel, please hit like and subscribe. No, but seriously, if you're here and if you're enjoying this, if you're liking the commentary, if you're liking the chat, if you're liking whatever, please do me a solid and reach down there and hit that like button. And for those of you joining us that have been watching and are not subscribers, I would deeply appreciate it if you would do me the honor of subscribing to the channel. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. You can hear my dogs breathing in the silence.
Yeah.
I don't know what the director was drugged up at the time. Alex said could have been a hyperbole. I don't know.
What?
So, but you probably know that.
What? The director was on drugs. What the fuck, dude?
An object like this silver.
Now that is a thing. Now that is a thing. Hannah mentioned that just about every night they'd go down to the bars, they'd drink, and they'd smoke weed. And she would smoke weed to go to sleep at night. So apparently, alcohol and at least some of the devil's lettuce was going on there on set. But God, the director was all drugged up. So as the flashing thing from Crime Circus said, well, if it was drugs, I guess it couldn't have been a bullet then. I mean, Jesus, God. What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know what the director was drugged up at the time. Alex said could have been a hyperbole. I don't know. So, but you probably know that.
An object like this silver thing did come out of him. He did tell you that's what did happen. Yeah, you're right. We do know what was pulled out of him. But that's why we're trying to figure out, do you think of malfunction?
God. I don't know.
Nice. Who had better tears, Alec or Dave?
I mean, if it was a full load, if it was a real 45 caliber bullet, it would be louder than hell. To me, based on my experience, it didn't sound like a quarter load. It sounded like a half load. So was there some...
See, that's another misconception about guns. I mean, 45s are fucking loud. Yeah, I'll give them that. But when... they're not all like these cannon shots like they are in the movies. Even a good 9mm round is going to give you a loud pop. And again, you can be so much in the moment. You can be so much in shock. You can be so much surprised that you're not aware of how loud that may actually have been. But it doesn't matter whether the director was on drugs. Doesn't remove the fact that a fucking bullet went through another human being and into another one. Even if it was a half load, which I doubt, that doesn't remove the fact that a bullet went straight through a human being and into another human being.
manufacturing screw up?
A manufacturing
That guy.
this guy is just talking straight out of his sphincter. I swear to God, the accident happened because of a manufacturing fuck up. It was a live round. Apparently, it did exactly what the fuck a live round is supposed to do. You strike the primer, it goes pew, and it launches a lead projectile through a human body and into another one. That sounds like that was a remarkably well manufactured live round. This guy has now gone full retard at just over the halfway mark. Remember, the original question was, how did this accident happen? The director was on drugs. It didn't make a big noise. It should have done more damage. And maybe it was a manufacturing problem. Not a single one of those answers the question of how he was standing next to a live round when he was the safety coordinator and in charge of coordinating the safety, when he himself had checked this weapon. He said he checked 3 of the rounds. Why he didn't check the other 3 is beyond me. But yeah, he's kind of sounding like a tosser right about now. Raffle Waffles, hey, good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. He was drugged in the hospital when he told Baldwin there was a bullet in his shoulder. Joel? Yeah, well, they took X-rays, and during Alec Baldwin's testimony, the police showed Alec Baldwin the X-ray of a nice little bullet lodged in the dude's shoulder. So yeah, they pretty much knew that there was a bullet in his shoulder.
No, they got half the, you know.
Has there been any issues on set between anybody?
What about the camera crew that quit last night?
What about it?
Oh, Jesus, fuck, dude. Don't be doing that. Now, again, for those of you that don't know, the camera crew, either all of them or a large portion of them, quit the day before this happened. Why did they quit? Problems regarding safety on set, safety concerns, and working conditions. They all just walked off the set the day before. And when the cop asks you, what about the camera crew that walked off last night? Your answer should not be, well, what about it? That's not really smart. That's not going to make the cop like you. Brandon's off in song time, off in like Songland over here. We should do Baldwin the musical. I'll see you on the dark side of the moon. The lunatic is in my head. You raise the blade. You make the change. You rearrange me till I'm sane. You lock the door. You throw away the key. There's someone in my head, but it's not me. Pink Floyd for the win. Throw on while you're here. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to see little doggo here with the super sticker. Bless you and deeply, deeply appreciated. Socks in the drawer. I don't know what you're talking about, Beaver's unit, but seems about par for the course. Brandon's in full on 70s mode, and God knows what my Beaver's unit is doing.
Same.
What about it?
What about it is not the right answer to that question.
I think that there's any connection between that and this now.
And what makes you say that?
God, I love her. She did this with Sarah too. Well, you tell me about this. Well, I heard this. Well, this happened. Were you there? Well, no. Well, then how the fuck do you know this happened? But at least she had a lawyer there to go. Now, remember, Sarah, if you don't have actual firsthand knowledge of this, say, I don't know. Don't say anything that you're not absolutely certain happened. She had a lawyer to say this. He doesn't have a lawyer to walk him through this question. This is a potential minefield for him because he's saying, no, there was absolutely no connection between the people walking off the set due to safety concerns and what happened the next day involving a safety accident. He said there's no connection. So the logical next question is, well, what makes you say that, Mr. Smarty?
If you want to think that there's any connection between that and this now.
And what makes you say that?
Well, I know that the first assistant cameraman, who seems to be the guy that's motivated the rest of that crew to leave, liked Helene a lot. He wanted to work with her again. He was very friendly to the director. He was there this morning to pick up his personal equipment. He said, gave me a big hug, sorry, we have to do this. I mean, they weren't angry, disgruntled. They just said, here are.
Again, this has nothing to do with a legal opinion, but I'm just going to go out on a limb and say if people have a job and in the middle of their job, they complain about things and then they all en masse quit and leave, I'm going to go way out on a big furry limb here and say that they were probably disgruntled and angry. I don't know a lot of people that quit their job in the middle of it because they're having a swell time and they don't have any problems. To quit in the middle of a job is usually indicative of there being some amount of anger and disgruntlement involved. This guy needs to shut the fuck up and get a lawyer. Just saying.
Sorry, we have to do this. I mean,
sorry, we have to quit. Oh, we're so apologetic.
Angry, disgruntled. They just said, here's our terms, and we can't honor them. We're just going to leave. So.
Dude,
wasn't shouting or anything about this.
Look up disgruntled in the dictionary, man. That's exactly what it is. They were disgruntled.
It's just because it happened last night, and then this incident happened today. Sure. That's why we're trying to.
Sure.
It doesn't.
You're covering all
is
the
there
bases.
a possible connection?
Yeah.
You don't believe so?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
And where was his equipment located when he came to pick it up this morning?
In his pants.
Yeah,
That's what she said. Never mind.
Which was where?
Sorry. Now, this is the thing they were asking about Sarah, too. One of the guys that quit came back to get his equipment, and they're asking about the possibility of it being of him maybe doing something, going near the cart, swapping some bullets out, putting some live ammo in there. So this person who came back the person from the crew who came back to get their stuff the morning of the shooting has been asked about in other interrogations.
In the same area where the prop truck would be.
So where the guns are.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody?
But, I respect you're trying to cover all the bases.
Well, yeah, that's what they do.
I think you're picturing that somebody walked into the prop truck. This disgruntled camera guy walked into the prop truck in the morning and put a live bullet in the gun that Alec Baldwin was going to shoot, but I had already checked the gun.
You had checked 3 of the 6 rounds that were put in that gun, dude. You just said that yourself. And notice how she just said, what about the guy that came and got his equipment the next day? Genius over here. This is one of these, well, if I were to do it, let me tell you exactly how I would do it kind of people. Yeah, in Minecraft, I would just walk up to the van. I mean, she didn't ask what happened. She didn't ask she just said, tell me about the guy that came to pick up his equipment. And now this guy's, he's pulling this theory. He's giving her this theory of what he thinks that the police may be thinking, when maybe it's indicative of something deeper inside of his own head. Again, this does nothing but cause the police to have suspicion about him. They didn't ask him to say, walk me through a scenario where this guy would put a live bullet on the set. They didn't ask him to do that. They just said, what about this guy that came there? And of his own volition, for no apparent reason, he's saying, oh, that would be just silly if this guy were to come here and do this and do that and do that and do the other thing and then put the live ammo over there. Well, we didn't ask you about that, but why do you say that? Why do you bring that up? It just causes suspicion.
Right.
And we confirmed that it was an empty gun.
No, you didn't.
But then, yeah, so there's that. But it was 5 minutes, and I guess there's just the question of, well, you checked it, it was empty, you were going to use it, right? But then 5 minutes later, you're checking it again because now it's loaded. So I think there's that why. I don't think anybody loaded it last night or came in. It's kind of someone made a change after you've already checked it and it was empty. And now there's this incident. And that's why we're just trying to question.
So I guess it's more just a lot of unknowns at this point.
Sure.
Of where did, Hannah pull these bullets from? Were they in a box? Were they,
In a
she said
Fox?
she carries around a fanny pack.
Yeah.
Were they in there? Were they on the cart? Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Did anybody watch her load this? If anybody did, that's pretty,
Yeah.
5 minutes isn't a lot of time for someone to do a lot of very sneaky things. We're not trying to put the blame on anybody. That's not what we're trying to do here.
Yes, it is. Be honest.
We're here to get a picture
Yeah.
and either,
Right.
prove that this was intentional on someone's behalf, or if it was a manufacturer defect.
Yeah.
If it,
God,
we have to do it either way.
I'm waiting for her to end that sentence. That was a very, very long sentence. Yeah, she's actually is trying to put the blame on someone here. That's what police do, and you're not helping your situation here, any dude. Just letting you know that. Halls was referring to Joel being drugged in the hospital, not on set. Well, okay. I got you. But still, that doesn't lessen the fact that there actually was a bullet in his shoulder when this guy was somehow saying Joel was on drugs as being the reason why the bad thing happened. Digger 420, we should all watch The Producers on stream as a palate cleanser when you get back from vacay. Yeah, you're trying to get me shut down, aren't you? There is not a single person in their right mind that, that wants to stay monetized would screen The Producers. Even Mel Brooks has said he would never even think of writing that movie today. Nice. I wish I was drunk. Here we are. Hey, how are we? I read that backwards, or sort of. I read it in Biden speak. How are we? We're good. We're having fun. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Mazza, we got the best channel, best mods, best chat, and best Brandon Lesko. We have the only Brandon Lesko, and we do have the best mods. We normally have the best chats, and I may be a bit biased, but I also agree that we have the best channel. And Jojo, thank you for that super sticker. That is so appreciated. Deeply, deeply appreciated. So yeah, we've one thing that just as an aside here that really frustrates me about body cam footage, and I wonder, this seems to be a different interrogation room than Alec was in before this and Hannah was in before this. Hannah and Alec were clearly in the same interrogation room. This is a different angle, so it may be the same place, it may be different, but I don't know why they don't have the two cameras they normally have going. I don't know why they're using this body cam. The audio sucks. The angle worse than sucks. You can't see the guy's body language. You can't see anything that's going on here. And that might come back to haunt the investigators at some point. Who knows? But yeah, this guy's being really, really weird at this point.
So any information that we get or a story that we can paint to help us understand will help us make a conclusion as to what happened today.
Yeah.
God, she was still going with that sentence.
So,
jeez.
We're not here to point fingers. We're here to
Yes, you are.
ask questions and say, all right, 5 minutes pass. She showed you the gun. You guys followed protocol.
Yeah.
Obviously, you followed protocol. You've been doing it the past couple weeks. There's been no incidents. And then all of a sudden today, this one round that
they subsequently found out, I believe there was
loaded round
6
in that
rounds
gun.
total. 6 live rounds total, I believe.
And it might be an accident. It might be a manufacturer defect.
No, it wasn't a manufacturing defect.
It's entirely possible.
It's impossible that it was a manufacturing defect. It's literally
we have
impossible.
to send everything to a lab.
And that's why we just need to get these questions out right now. Because once the lab lets us know manufacturer, intentional, we've already asked these questions.
It's just putting everything together.
Mm-hmm.
another question. From what we understand so far, there's only so many people allowed into the scene area, the church, during the rehearsal. Who were all those people?
He's going to say, I don't know.
That were,
There's only so many people that are allowed in the church.
that's what we understand.
There's only so many people in there while you guys were rehearsing the scene.
Yeah.
So can you name those people that were in there?
Well, Alec Baldwin,
Here, we have a picture.
Joel Souza, myself. Ross, I don't know his Ross. He's the dolly grip. I don't know his last name.
You don't know anybody's
Reed,
last name.
Camera operator. I don't know his last name. This is the people that I recollect. Now, we were also sequestered, so that I got to, see everybody that was claimed to be in the room. But when the officer asked me how many people were in the room, I just did a visual, and I said, I think it's like 6 or 7. So got Alec Baldwin, myself, Helena Hutchins, Joel Souza, Ross, the dolly grip, Reed, the camera
He's
operator.
a dolly grip. He's a dolly grip for
That's
sure. For
really
sure.
who I really,
He's a valley
recall
girl.
being there.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm facing Alec Baldwin. There's people behind me, that I'm not seeing.
Okay.
And I got a pretty good idea who they are based on the room. Like I said, it's a question.
Out of all of those people, including yourself, is there anybody that has been having issues with anybody else on set? Or anybody else in general? Have they been having any issues that you know of
No,
that would be concerning?
no. But I'm gonna say something
Oh, don't. No.
because this person I don't think is psychologically very well put.
Okay. All right. Here's our chance. Here's our chance. Chat. Very quickly in chat. He is making an unsolicited comment during a police interrogation after having been read his rights. Ladies and gentlemen, he is going to make an unsolicited statement about someone on set who he thinks is not psychologically very well put together. Who is he going to throw under the bus? Who do we think he is going to say is psychologically not very well? Let me see who you think. Hannah. Come here, dog. Hannah. We have 1 vote, 2 votes for Hannah. Who's he going to throw under the bus? The girl with a spider tattoo on her belly. That would be Hannah. Alec Baldwin. It seems... Seth. Okay, we have Seth. 1 for Seth. Sarah. We have some Seths and some Sarahs. Lots of Hannahs. Give it a couple more seconds for you to give your opinions on who is going to be fingered by this clearly goofball of a human being as being mentally or psychologically not very well put together. All right. Well, it seems like Hannah, then Seth, then maybe a close tie for Alec and Sarah. We're not talking about who's on set. Let's at the time of the shooting, but let's see who it is. Let's see who is behind curtain number 1.
Or
Yeah.
anybody else
What the
in
fuck?
general? Have they been having any issues that you know of
No,
that would be concerning?
no. But I'm gonna say something
Oh no.
because this person I don't think is psychologically very well put together.
Okay.
And it's Mamie, the script supervisor.
The script supervisor. Where the fuck did the script supervisor come from? I must admit, if you would have given me 1,000 years to think of possible answers to that question in this situation, the script supervisor would never in 1,000 years have crossed my mind or my lips. All right. As long as we're just being goofy as fuck. Puck over here. Let's see what he has against the script supervisor and how the script supervisor may have snuck live rounds onto set.
Mamie, M-A-I-N.
Oh, wait a minute. Some of you said Mamie. There was a lot of Mamies here. Now, those of you that said Mamie in the chat, I'm going to call bullshit. You guys have seen this video. You have to have seen this video. If you actually have never seen this video, then and you guessed Mamie was the person because of, you know, or whatever. Mamie. I didn't even know Mamie existed. I'm calling you all cheaters. Seriously. All right. We gotta. I wish I was drunk. I didn't realize your chat was a tongue twister. I sort of read it inside out and backwards, and I've had a few drinks. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. Rich Brocker, thank you for your super chat. Cheers. Well, cheers to you. Oh, look, the glass is empty. I think we need to put more bourbon in it. A delicious Four Roses single barrel. 50%. All gone. Cheers. So glad I get to work from home and watch Legal Vices before work in the morning. Well, I'm so glad you get to do that too. We're pleased to have you and keep coming back. We couldn't do this without people just like you. Let's get back to Mamie. The fuck did Mamie do to anybody?
Her and I had an encounter.
Oh,
at lunch.
At lunch.
Today.
Yeah, what, you know, because I don't know, Mamie's, I don't know, I can see Mamie saying something.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know.
Exactly. What do you mean by that?
Oh, she just, you know, thought that the whole thing was just a shit show, and and she just talks.
So even the script supervisor thinks this is a shit show. The camera crew walked off because of their concerns. Even he's saying that she's a psycho nut job because she complained that this whole thing was a shit show. I must be psycho and not altogether there in my head because I'm firmly convinced this was a shit show and I've never been anywhere near the set. Damn.
And talks. And she's an older woman. She's been in the business for 40 years and she constantly reminds everybody. And she, you know. So when the incident happened, she was like, you know, very vocal about the producers. Why don't you go back to Georgia? And then, you know, I don't know how she was feeling about me.
Dude.
She's a bit crazy.
Not a single thing he just said indicates to me that she is any degree of crazy whatsoever. Nothing indicates that. And so she's annoying because she keeps reminding people to do shit and she thinks the whole thing is a shit show. Well, that sounds like she may be the one normal person we're looking for in the interrogations. Fuck you, McAfee, for doing a virus scan in the middle of this. Just a second. Are you sure you want to close the window? I didn't want to start the damn window. There we go. We need to do an interrogation of Mamie. She sounds like the freaking normal one. She reminds people to do things and she realizes this is a shit show she's working on.
Writer?
Script supervisor.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so she kind of was going off after the incident?
Yeah.
Where was she during the incident?
She said she was in the room.
She said
So
she was in
there
the room.
too.
Yeah.
You don't know if she was in the room, but you were in the room and there were 6 or 7 people in the room. You're not sure she was in the room?
Was she anywhere near Hannah or you when the gun was being
Loaded.
I don't know. I don't think she was anywhere near Hannah. Hannah was over on this side outside, and maybe one was hanging out with her.
Okay.
This could be totally irrelevant, but I don't really trust her emotionally. And so nobody does on the crew. She's just that one, you know.
Wow. Someone that he allegedly liked and respected was blown away a couple of hours ago. And he's already laughing and giggling and joking with people. Great. You're a charming man, dude.
It's just
No, nothing
so,
is
you know,
relevant. Anything out of the
I
ordinary.
could see
that's
her
relevant.
saying,
Dude, don't interrupt. God, this guy wants to hang himself. That's 3 times he's in a row that he's interrupted the police when she's going to say something or ask a question. He's interrupting her to say something else that he wasn't asked about. This right here, what you're watching, is a very, very classic example of the old saying, give someone enough rope to hang themselves with. Well, you want to fucking interrupt me and say dumb shit? Be my guest. 3 times in a row. Dude, shut up and let the police talk and let the police ask the questions. This is how you get yourself in serious, serious legal trouble. It ain't worth it. Good Lord.
something. I don't know what she would say, but
Do you think that she would manipulate a gun?
no.
Then why are you talking about her, dumbass? She's asking you who did this. And was this
But
crazy
she's familiar
cycle.
with the way these work and the mechanics of it being there for 40 years.
I
in
would
this
think so.
business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, mechanics meaning what?
Well,
I don't know if she can load a
it's
gun. I don't
easy.
know if she
Well,
can
revolver,
load
you could easily put
Yeah.
one in.
Mhm.
You don't have to inject anything. It's just spinning its wonder. But why would you feel she had issues with you?
I can take this.
What?
Um,
You can't take this.
I'm
It's
okay
about
with
a-
it.
It's about a ride from here.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
That's fine.
Oh,
Hey, Tim, I'm still at the.
Oh, okay. He said, I can't take this. I thought he was talking about the situation. He was talking about the phone call that he's getting in the middle of his interrogation. This is why you need to do a little better job with the camera here, police folks. For people like me that are trying to figure out what the hell's going on. So, all right, you take a phone call here and we'll clear a couple super chats. Well, the super chat that's outstanding. The ever popular. Wait, do we got? No, we have a few outstanding. Kitty Cat, thank you so much for the super chat. Hell, I thought it was Pooty Poot Putin. Okay. Bass, thank you again for the super chat and the accompanying donation. The only manufacturing defect I see here is Alec Baldwin. He pointed a gun at someone. It's actually really kind of hard to argue with that particular statement. I would have to concur that that would appear to be a major Alec Baldwin malfunction. And next up, we have Swan Lake Lady. Thank you so much for the ghost chat. The ghost writing there. I'm sure you just like to have some lemon juice to put it on there. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, Swan Lake Lady. That's deeply appreciated. Go, homie girl. For those who don't know, Swan Lake. She's one of my homie girls. She's about, I guess what it'd be 13 miles from my home. Anyway, yep. Brandon Lesko into house again. Okay, here's where I'm at. Either this is a total clusterfuck, or they're saying all this dumb redacted to cover for someone. I am the logical, rational lawyer side of my brain says this is just a total clusterfuck. It's incompetent all the way around. And at this point, the police are probably just going to do a pin the tail on the donkey or shoot darts or whatever to see which one of all of these negligent people are the one they're going to pin the criminal charges on, or which ones. But there also is that part of my brain that says this is all of a cover up to cover up something by these incompetent dickweeds. Well, we'll just have to see, but I'm pretty sure it's just the clusterfuck thing. But it's such a clusterfuck that it seems like it's more than a clusterfuck. I mean, if one or two people are negligent and lazy and do dumb shit that gets people killed, that's understandable. But when it's everybody being so suspiciously irresponsible and negligent, it just looks bad and it makes you ask questions. And oh dear, my Beavers unit, that tweet you just sent, you should be ashamed of yourself. Not only because of what you sent, but because now you have 580 people wondering what you sent me.
You want to get out of there, I bet. Is anybody going back out to the range? Do you know, or how I might be able to get there?
Can someone come here and pick you up, or?
Sorry, Tim, go ahead. Yeah.
You're asking the cops for a ride back to...
No.
Oh, dear. Perp Deerwitch, thank you. Direwitch, $5. Thank you so much. R&T fund, thanks. Why does he sound like he is guilty of sin? Because people that are really, really stupid and don't have anything to cover up and are just talking out their ass, it makes it look like they have something to cover up.
Do you have an address?
35.
Can you give me an address? How about the police station?
Not that far from the set.
Yeah, it's not that far from the set. It's 35
Camino Justicia. It's like just
an A.
yeah. Well, IA.
Camino
Justicia.
Just like justice.
You know
Justicia.
you know you're in New Mexico when Justicia is pronounced Justicia.
Yeah.
There you go.
Santa Fe County Sheriff's
Yes.
Department. Okay.
You could even Google that. And
Yeah. Google Sheriff's Office, and that's where I am because I'm being interrogated.
I don't think it'll be much longer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I don't think I'll be much longer. Well, why don't we let the sheriff decide that there, pal? Okay, that's the other that's the other large detective that was there with the other two people. All righty. So yeah, they're the dream team. We need like some yakety sector. Okay, there we go.
Well, I don't know if this was point blank, but if it's a blank,
What?
it shouldn't do this. It should just make.
Did he just literally say, I don't know if this was point blank, but blank shouldn't do that? One of two things is happening. Either he thinks point blank means it has something to do with blank bullets, or he's thinking that even if you're shooting blanks at a point blank range, it can still cause internal damage, or it can still cause injury and or death. I hope it's the last one because that's the only thing that makes sense. But anyway,
Maybe you get a powder burn or something.
Dude, Jesus, shut the fuck up. Stop talking. You're not helping yourself. You are literally doing the opposite of helping yourself. It should only be a powder burn. Well, guess what? It wasn't a powder burn unless powder burns go through the torso horizontally through someone and into someone else's shoulder, which powder burns don't do. Or it wasn't a blank and it wasn't actually a live fucking round that went through someone completely and into someone else. This dude has got to be on drugs, or he's a stupid person that has no business being an assistant director to anything.
Should.
Right? So
Statuesque Miss 2845.
If anything,
I thought he had no gun knowledge.
out of any
Clearly
of
he
your
has no gun
couplets
knowledge.
projects anything, what would you expect to see?
say that again.
So you have all your prop bullets. If anything,
You're blank. Yeah.
or blanks projects anything, meaning shoots
Yeah.
out, what would you expect to see? Because I understand some are clay and they just disperse and
No.
don't.
Yeah, I don't
Don't
know.
have a hard
I mean, you talk to special effects guys and they get hit all the time,
Okay.
you know, with stuff.
Have you
Special
I've
effects
only
guys get
felt
hit
it
with
once. It
bullets
was
all
so
the
good,
time?
like, it was just.
Have you ever seen anything like that come out of any of your effects or anything?
No. Said they pulled out of the director.
Yes.
And that's why we're trying to get the
There's a snub nose.
understanding.
So it's matching what you guys use.
Can I say? I mean, it appears to be. It's all.
Yeah. David, what's your date of birth?
1959.
Oh, he's 10 years older than
I
me.
mean, it's. It appears to be snub nose like those other ones.
Woody says I'll be on Medicare in a few weeks.
But I've never,
2 days ago, I got my first application for AARP.
So
That's
why
the
we're asking-
retirement
None of
folks
them
in the
in
state.
effect.
So
none
AARP,
of
go
them
fuck
said,
yourself.
No.
That's why we're asking
Yeah.
why you would think this would be an accident or if it
Yeah.
malfunctioned or, I mean, a manufacturer issue or intentional.
Yeah. Take a break.
They ask a very important question, and he doesn't want to answer it and runs off to the pisser.
No.
That's why we're asking.
Yeah.
Is asking if you've ever seen one of the blanks
That's
eject
what we're
something
asking.
and go
None
into
of them in
somebody.
effect. On a film set. No.
That's why we're asking
Yeah.
why you would think this would be an accident or if it malfunctioned or, I mean, a manufacturer issue or intentional.
Yeah. Take a break.
He's got to go to the restroom to snort some coke to get his brain in order here.
Yeah, I'll walk you over there.
Yeah, I'll walk you over there. You ain't running out the back door, you fuck. If he's wiping his nose when he comes out.
One said that he had done 4 combat tours. And another one was, I think he has a lot of expertise in guns. We all kind of felt that it was a half load. Okay?
It clearly
Given
wasn't
what,
a half
the
load.
sound?
Just, you know, just our experience with it, that, you know, that wasn't a quarter load, it was a half load.
That was a full load. It went through another
So-
human being and into another one.
If that was a real 45 caliber bullet,
It was.
it would have been loud as hell
No, not necessarily. You
in
couldn't.
that church.
Yeah.
And I think those guys would have confirmed that. So it's been loaded with half the load that you usually have, and then a bullet gets put back on top of it. There's just
Say no way.
there's no explanation. There's
Yeah.
you know, to answer your question, there's, you know, I've been preeminent about it. There's absolutely no reason to ever have live real ammunition on a film set.
No, and I agree. That's what you guys have said, that you don't keep
Why?
live ammo on there. So what to you is this projectile? What does it mean to you? Like, was it the half load and someone put that on top of it? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
What do you mean you guess? You're saying, see, this is the problem. A lawyer would have stopped him eons ago and said, don't say anything you are not 100% certain of. If you did not specifically witness something, don't talk about it. Don't give opinions. Only say things that you personally saw. He wouldn't be just talking about this shit. Oh, perhaps this happened. Perhaps aliens came down and shoved the bullet in the gun. Perhaps we entered an alternate dimension where there's another. All of this shit he is talking. Now they get to follow up and go, well, why do you think that? Why did you say that? If you don't mean it, why the fuck are you talking about it? This is getting him deeper and deeper. And the deeper that he goes, the deeper they press, and the deeper they press, the deeper he goes with his dumb, stupid answers. I mean, this is ridiculous. This whole line of questioning here is completely unnecessary. And he brought it on himself. And now he spouts this stupid bullshit that's not even worthy of being called a theory. And then they get to questioning him on why he's talking shit like that.
No, and I agree. That's what you guys have said, that you don't
Why?
keep live ammo on there. So what to you is this projectile? What does it mean to you? Like,
Yeah. So what they're asking there is, you say there is no such thing as live ammunition on set. holding up live ammunition that was taken from set. If you don't think there was any live ammunition on set, then what exactly is this? What is this thing to you? We think this is a live round. What do you think it is? Because you say there's no live rounds on set. This is a gotcha question. You say there's no live rounds on set. Well, then what do you call this, pal? And he says, "Dumb shit."
Was it the half load and someone put that on top of it? Is that what you're saying?
I guess.
I guess. You're saying it or you're not saying
Making it a real live round.
Yeah.
it. Can you see what he's done to himself here? There are no live rounds on set. Well, then what do you call this? A round with a lead thing on the end. So it's a live round on set. Yeah. Narrow it even further. There's no live rounds on set. What's this? That's a live round. So there are live rounds on set. Yep. That's essentially what he's done. He's just lied. He's just been caught in a lie because he unnecessarily talks about shit.
How does somebody
And that's
put?
what came out of the director's shoulder. There was a bullet in there.
Yes.
Well, what was on the ones that I brought in here?
What was one?
Oh, the top of the ones that I brought in here.
Bullets. Right? That's the terminology.
Right.
He doesn't know the terminology. That's why he's confusing himself, and he desperately needs a lawyer to use the proper words.
I mean, it's not like somebody can. I don't think he's. What are you meaning by putting it on top?
So the half loads that he's saying are the ones that you believe were in the gun, right? And those are the ones that don't usually have the gray part on top.
No.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're agreeing with me, right?
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah,
They don't
so
have-
he's
It's a
saying
blank.
someone
Okay.
put that projectile on top of the one that doesn't have.
He is very, very inarticulately
So somebody put a bullet on
trying
top
to
of a half load
describe
in
the
5
difference
minutes.
between a blank and a dummy.
It could have been
No,
set up prior.
I'm totally speculating that somehow.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a public service announcement, I would just like to tell you that if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're being interrogated by the police involving a case where someone has been shot to death and someone else wounded, and you've been read your rights and you don't have a lawyer, which you should, don't ever, ever use the words, "I'm totally speculating," to the police. Literally, other than "I did it, I'm guilty, I shot them, I put the live round in the gun, please take me to jail." The only thing worse you can, the only thing that's even close to that, that's obviously the worst thing you can say, but very close to that is, "I'm totally speculating." Don't say that.
Manufacturer defect. I can't.
But either way,
There is not, to my knowledge, there has never been a live round in the history of live rounds that just randomly, for no reason, without anybody fucking with it, just decided to explode by itself. Like automatic. I've never heard of a single round in the history of rounds where that happened.
this rehearsal, the half loads, quarter loads, all of those were not supposed to be loaded in the gun. They were all supposed to be
Dummies.
dummies, the two that we showed you.
Yes.
Or empty.
Yes.
And this is why it's not adding up to us either.
Yeah, it's not
And that's
adding
why
up
we're
to
trying get
anybody.
your experience and what.
And by the way, again, another public service announcement from your friendly neighborhood lawyer. When the police say, "Well, this isn't adding up to us," that means we think you're lying. We think you're lying. That's what they mean when they say it just doesn't add up.
What it is with these guns. Like, is this something that can happen?
Don't shake your head. Clearly it can happen because it did. Come on, Skeletor.
And I'll tell you, I
Crypt-
see absolutely no reason to think that there's any foul play.
Hey, Crypt Keeper, she didn't ask you if there was foul play. She asked
If I
you
did,
if it's
I would tell
possible
you.
that this happened.
But I think in general, everybody on this crew got along. Mimi and I like her. I consider her a friend, but she just has this tendency to be a little too chatty. It doesn't think before she speaks.
Kind of like you. Jesus, did he really just say
Mimi
that?
And I like everybody.
And he's talking about Mimi here, whatever the fuck her name is. He literally just said the stupidest thing
I
ever.
would tell you. But I think in general, everybody on this crew got along. Mimi and I like her. I consider her a friend, but she just has this tendency to be a little too chatty. It doesn't think before she speaks.
Skeletor here saying that she's chatty and doesn't think before she speaks. That's some Amber Heard shit level projection going on there. This is literally what he's been doing for the last hour. Being chatty AF and not giving 3 seconds thought to anything he's saying. Good grief.
What would be a good way to get a hold of you if we have anything else to?
612-6056.
And how long are you guys going to be out there?
Oh, we're done.
Now we all know his phone number. Do not fucking do it. Don't even think about it.
Okay.
It's too scarring.
It's too scarring.
The director of photography was killed. The
Yep.
director was injured.
Yep. By a live round from a gun you checked.
Alec Baldwin was involved.
From a gun you fucking gave him the gun. Yep.
We're gonna give you these cards. It's gonna be her information, those in the back. Both of them. So if anything comes to mind or recall anything later on, you could always call us and something sticks out that maybe is noteworthy. And remember, nothing is irrelevant of what you think, okay? The littlest thing could be
Yeah.
maybe
I
something.
understand. I just wish I could.
We're not done obviously here, we're still gonna go to the same process as scene. We will run ballistics on the gun and the comparison of all of this, and maybe hopefully we could get an answer on all of that. Bring some more closure to this. You're right, they're almost here, do you think, or you probably just left.
Can I go outside and
Yep.
it's fair.
Yeah, we can walk you out.
Wow. All right. Though that's the end of the interviews. That's all of the interviews that apparently have been released thus far in the Alec Baldwin shooting case. All right, here I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts in the chat or the comments after we wrap this up. But here's what I'm thinking. Alec Baldwin goes down, or doesn't know if he goes down, but I see Alec Baldwin being charged with whatever New Mexico's law is regarding negligent homicide, involuntary manslaughter, whatever that statute is in New Mexico. Possibly also as the producer, as the owner of the production company, being charged with some sort of criminal occupational negligence. I'm assuming they have some sort of statute like that in New Mexico. Again, I'm totally speculating here, but that's what I'm thinking. Hannah probably just unfortunately because she was in charge of, she was the armorer, and she did a lot of bad things, a lot of wrong things. So I can see her being charged as well. And David Halls. Those are the three people that I can see being charged. As much as I would love to see that Bigfoot, olive oil Sarah be charged with something just for being an idiot, she is going to be a witness against somebody. She's going to be one of the star witnesses. Whether it comes from whether they give her a deal. Please review the DA press conference. It's weird. The DA giggles throughout the entire press conference, and the sheriff seems really pissed off. Okay. We'll look for more vids. We'll look for more Baldwin vids. But yeah, I'm thinking Sarah is going to be a witness against somebody. They're either going to give her a deal, no prosecution if you point fingers and be a good little witness, or they're just thinking, we don't have enough to actually charge her. We don't have enough evidence to charge her with criminal negligence or whatever that may be. Seth, I don't know about Seth. He sort of just seems to be an ignorant non-entity with a stick up his ass. I don't think he would make a good witness, and I don't know that they have enough to charge him. So I can see Seth maybe having a very, very minor. This is all just random shit that I'm thinking, given what we've seen over the past several interrogations. Alec Baldwin's got to be charged with something. He just has to be. Civilly, he's already been sued by probably about 1 billion people. Hannah, Alec, and David are the ones. That's my prediction at this point. They're the ones. One of those three, two of those three, or all three of them are going to be charged with something. Sarah will be one of the star witnesses for the prosecution. That's my prediction based on what I know right now. We'll see how that works out. Donna, I thought he wanted to finger Sarah. Now, I don't know if you intended that the way that I read that, but I'm a perv, so I read that way. Cherry AdMax, thank you so much. My dollars on Seth, hired her and set her up, and so helpful. Could be, but I don't know that they have enough actual evidence to prove Seth did something wrong. And as a witness, he would suck. He's too opinionated. He's too eager to, point fingers. I think he would be a terrible witness for the prosecution. Do you, Ken? Legal Vices, why these people were read their rights if they're not under arrest? You don't have to be under arrest to have the police read your rights. I mean, most of the time people get read their right. I mean, if they arrest you, they have to read you your rights, but you don't have to be arrested. I mean, just they read you your rights for questioning. And if they get all that evidence against you, then they can arrest you. But yeah, legally, if they are going to interrogate you and use whatever you say as evidence, they must read you your rights first. My Beavers unit. May I say, you look very smart today. You wear that library look phenomenally. My library. This for all of you Irish out there in the chat. This is your this is your hometown. This is a hat from Aran Sweater Market in Ireland. And this is my Frostpipe shirt from my Finnish pipe maker friend. That this is some of his merch. I bought him bought some of his merch. He's the guy that makes a lot of my pipes. When I get back from vacation, I'll have him on one of my Vices streams. Well, not one of my legal streams. We'll have him on one of my Vices streams where he'll talk about how he got into making pipes. I'll show you some of the really fucking cool pipes he's made for me. Yeah, so let's see here. Looking through the chat, John D says you look like a Yorkshire man. Michael Palin's is a Yorkshire man, if I remember correctly. Golf hat? No, it's just your basic Irish flat cap. It's quite comfortable even in the summer. And hey, it matches green. And it matches my wallpaper, so Soy can freak out about my wallpaper again. A 420 stream. I do not partake of the devil's lettuce, my particular self. So whatever you guys do in chat, that's your own thing. Wait, what the hell is that? You look hot AF, Jeff. Jesus Christ, you were so hot. Okay. Is Turtle Dove doing a 420 stream? I wish I was drunk. Patty hat. I've learned one of the easiest ways to make an Irishman absolutely go insane, borderline rage, is to call an Irish man Patty instead of Paddy. If you call them Patty, or if you refer to an Irish or someone else as Patty, you're liable to get jumped. I'm not even going to read some of those chats. That's funny. All right. Well, for those of you that have stuck around, we're just going to shoot the shit here for just a little while longer. You're all free to leave, but all of you that want to stick around, please do. But if you are leaving, well, even if you're not leaving, I would deeply, deeply appreciate it if some of the 534 of you that have not yet hit the like button would do so. I would be grateful and eternally indebted to you for that. It helps get the word out for the channel. It puts us in the YouTube algorithms. Lots of likes on a video, especially like viewer to like ratios, if they're really good, that lets YouTube know that people like what they're watching, and then that gets put up in the suggested videos. That helps the channel grow, and as does subscribing. My subscriptions are increasing, and I deeply appreciate those of you that do that. Those of you that haven't subscribed, you've been watching for however long you've been watching tonight or other nights, just reach down there, hit that subscribe button and the notification button. You'll get notifications of what we do. And just as kind of a heads up, in just a few hours from now, about 34 hours from now, I will be heading out of Korea for 2 weeks. Be going back home, doing some time in Utah, mostly my little hometown. But I'll be in Salt Lake for a couple days. I'll be in Las Vegas for a few days. I'll post the times and kind of a location where I might be found in Vegas in case anyone there wants to pop by. The most likely place that I'll be found is either the Double Helix Bar or the Monte Cristo Cigar Lounge in Caesar's Palace. That's sort of my usual Vegas haunts. Lake Effect in Salt Lake is the bar where I definitely will be. That Lake Effect is one of the best damn bars in the country, as far as I'm concerned. But while I'm gone, what's going to be going on the channel when I'm gone? I've put together 6 pre-recorded segments, and let me see if I can remember what they are off the top of my head. 2 whiskey tastings. One sort of way lower deck whiskey, and one much higher level whiskey tasting. We'll do two whiskey review videos, whiskey tasting and review videos. I don't know if how many of you saw my little cultural trip I went on a couple of weeks ago, to the city of Gyeongju in Korea. Gyeongju was that was like the capital of a kingdom that lasted for about 1,000 years here in Korea, and it's a hugely cultural city. I went there a couple of weeks ago, and it started raining halfway on the trip there, and it was just a miserable, shitty rain out. I went there last weekend and took a bunch of videos, so I'll be uploading another video of more things to see and do in Gyeongju, Korea, which is, I mean, it's a beautiful place. It's one of my favorite places in the country. So we'll have 2 whiskey tastings, the Gyeongju review, a conspiracy theory, ghost, supernatural, alien topic program that I did on Fair and Balanced channel last week. I'm going to be reposting that to my channel. And that's something that she and I are probably going to be doing regularly, because we had just so damn much fun. We had a great time, and we're just laughing our asses off through that whole thing. So we're probably going to do kind of a conspiracy, supernatural, ghosty, alien-y, cryptozoology, Bigfooty thing. We might have Sarah on there when we need to interview Bigfoot. We're probably going to do that every couple of weeks or every week, just something to dick around and have fun. So I'll be uploading that program, and then the other 2 programs will be a few segments from the Ricada Law programs that I was on. The shit we talked about on both of those channels was outrageous. If you want to watch some serious fun, just some serious shenanigans, hijinks, and just some good laughs all the way around, check in for those 3 videos. And for those 3 videos, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it like a premiere style. I don't know if I will be able to attend, but these are all going to be programmed to be released at certain times. The pre-recorded ones on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday and Thursday, depending where I'm at. I'll try to at least just pop on to say hi for a live stream. But for the Monday, Wednesday, Friday programs, I'll do them in sort of a premiere style where you'll still get the notifications. You'll still be able to chat through it, but I might be there and I might not be there. It's all up to you. You guys can still have fun without me, just as long as I still have a channel left when I get back. That's all. That's all I ask. And I believe you'll still be able to give super chats for no apparent reason while I'm gone. If that's something you're inclined to do, please feel free to do it. If I get any super chats on these premieres while I'm gone, I definitely will go through and read them when I get back. Let's see here. We got a couple of super chats to clear through here. Off topic, but curious, retired PO and pre-post sentence investigator. Does Japan do anything like that? Would love to know about their court system. I'm in Korea, so I don't know anything about what Japan does, really. But Korea, no, there's no pre or post sentencing investigations. The judge just hands down the sentence, and that's it. That's the end. They don't do any of that type of stuff here. No, there's no. As far as I know, there's no parole officers even. I've never heard of a parole officer here. Mexican Iron Man, good to see you today. Thank you for the super chat. Great job this morning. I'm still here on stream to make sure YouTube rewards you with some diversity and inclusion Mexican points. Sweet. Appreciate that. We always need some diversity and inclusion Mexican points. I'm going to go out on a limb here and follow Hannah and assume that you are Hispanic, you have a mustache, and you're medium build. Let me know if I'm wrong. Cherry Admax, thank you so much. Oops, I meant Korea. Lol, lol, lol. Yep, that's what I thought you meant. So let's see if Mexican Iron Man here meets the description of the guy in charge of weapons and the prop truck as described by Hannah. Are you still here? Are you in hiding because you match the description? We shall never know. All right. That's enough dead air waiting. All right. And again, I apologize for my rant at a certain two people on chat today. It is amazing how just one fuckwit or two fuckwits especially can throw an entire stream of 500 people and me completely off with their holy crap. Okay, Maria Rose 1. Wow. Thank you so much for this super chat. That was unexpected. Love your content. You're my new morning show. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for that incredible generosity. Wow. All right. Oh, we have a Mexican Iron Man sighting. He's blah-ha-ha-ha-ing Luke Pearson. What did Luke Pearson say? Luke Pearson says, see, you also see above. Mexican Iron Man must have planted the live ammo because no one else could match that description. Exactly. That's why I'm up. Mexican Iron Man says, winner, illegal vices. We've found our culprit. We've found the guy. Hannah, for those of you that don't know what the fuck we're talking about, Hannah Gutierrez was describing the person who she's the armorer, and she did not know the name of the person who literally had the gun safe in his truck and carried all of the bullets and watched the bullets all night long. Wow. Chat. She described the person, again, not knowing his name, the person who's in charge of making sure that the guns and ammo are safe all night long, as a Hispanic person with a mustache and a medium build. Again, this was in New Mexico. That is probably 70 to 80% of New Mexico. I mean, just the fact nobody knows the names of people they're working with closely. That just freaks me out too. Speaking of Hannah, could you read her lawsuit against Seth? That I've been thinking about it. I'll give that some thought when I get back from vacation. And again, if there's anything you guys want me to cover that you think I might be interested in, feel free to email me at thelegalvices@gmail.com or send me a message on Twitter at thelegalvices at Twitter. I'm not guaranteeing I'll read everything you want me to, or I mean I'll read. I won't do a show about everything you want to, but if it's something that I think is interesting to me personally and may work well on the show, then we might go ahead and do it. My beavers, you're doing your. I know what you're talking about, but but the fact that there's 432 other people currently in chat that have no idea what you're talking about freaks me out. But so anyway, that's what we're going to be doing when I'm being gone. When I'm gone, I'll post up some pictures of things that are happening around me. And literally one of the first things I do when I'm getting to Vegas is I'm going to eat the food of the people of Mexican Iron Man. There is an astounding Mexican restaurant off the Vegas Strip. That's where all the casino workers, all the Hispanic casino workers go to eat. It is so damn good. I mean, we're talking the real tacos, the real tacos. You know, the cow tongue, the pig brain, you know, the cow eye taco. I mean, the good tacos. Where you go to some restaurants, they have like a little batch of ketchup packages and mustard packages and whatnot. This place has like a giant bushel basket of cut limes and another giant bushel basket of jalapenos. I can't wait to get. I literally can't wait to get to Vegas just to go to that restaurant. That is some good shit. Breakfast tacos. Yeah. Yeah. God. Breakfast tacos. Come on, Mrs. Biden. You can do better than that. Are you going to smoke a cigar with Barnes? I have to check things out. Yeah, I'm putting feelers out now. Now that I finally decided what days I'm going to Vegas. I'll be in Vegas on 19th, 20th, and 21st. So I will be reaching out to people and seeing who's around there. Thank you so much for that super chat. That I'll keep people posted what's going on. Raffle Waffles, Whistle Pig 10-year rye. Your thoughts? I love Whistle Pig 10-year rye. As a matter of fact, I finished a good chunk of a bottle on one of Riqueda's streams. Then unfortunately it's all gone. I have to buy another bottle. The base. I mean, the Boss Hog things are a different level of rye, but the basic Whistle Pig, the 10, the 12, and the 15 year, I think the 10 year is the best of those offerings. It is just it's the perfect mix of flavors for me. I'm not a big fan of the 12 year. I don't know why. It seems like it's a little too nutmeggy and cinnamony, and the 15 year just kind of comes off as a little too spicy for my particular taste. The Whistle Pig 10-year rye is a fantastic under $100 bottle of rye. Can't go wrong. For me, I highly recommend it. And rye is becoming super popular these days. So cool. When will I be back live from my holiday? I get back to Korea on July 31st, the night of July 31st. If I have any sort of ability, I'll be live the next day, Monday the 1st, which will be very early Monday the 1st for most of you in the States anyway. So yeah, my plan is to be back on and doing this again on the 1st of August, but I'm getting back on July 31st late at night. So I don't know for sure, but that's the plan. If not, it'll be Tuesday. So either the 1st or the 2nd. My goal is to do the 1st of August. Because I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks with no grift, man. I got to make up for lost time. And looking at my calendar, we have to do the second Fuck It Friday. I have a friend that's coming to visit here in Busan, either the first weekend or the second weekend in what month is this? In August. So either the second Fuck It Friday, where it's not, and for those of you that missed it the first time, we just talk about crap, news stories, irrelevant stuff, whatever wants to go, and $50 gets you the choice of a whiskey for me to drink, and it gets you a question. It went so off the rails so quickly last time. I had about 12 articles I planned on reading, and I got I remember starting the second article. I still haven't got the courage to go back and watch that particular episode yet. But yeah, that many drinks were purchased, and I did something really, really stupid where I mixed 5 or 6 different types of alcohol in a full glass for a $100 tip. We ain't going to do that anymore. I learned my lesson. But again, it'll be the same. That's what we do on Fuck It Friday. Just whatever. And we just shoot the shit. I grift for as much super chats as I possibly can on that day, just for the sheer hell of it. And so I don't have to do it so much during the rest of the month. But yeah, $50 gets you a choice of alcohol for me to drink a shot of, and it gets you a question or comment. We'll do that either the first weekend of August or the second weekend. And if it's right now, again, it depends on when this person is coming. I hope they come the first weekend, because the second weekend of August is a 3-day weekend here in Korea. And what I would like to do is do a Friday, the Fuck It Friday thing, and then Saturday go up to Seoul and hang out with Legal Mindset. We're going to be doing that really early on in August. We'll hang out with him and maybe a couple of other people that are here. So we'll have fun. Are you going on a holiday now, Jeff? Yes, I am going on holiday Saturday morning my time, which I will be leaving in 32 hours from now. I'll be getting on the train to go to the airport. Oh, Jody, we had a lot of fun playing drinking games with the chat. I was liquored up for about 30 some odd hours that day because we did the chat, and then I had to wake up early to drink with Ricada on his stream, and then right after that I had to go out with a bunch of Russian friends for my birthday party. Do I have a car in Korea? Yes, I have a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. So, you need to stop drinking whiskey, send it all to me, and do a soju tasting stream. Yeah, that's not going to happen. But there are some good sojus, like very few, but there are a few. I will do a couple of the good soju things when I get back. Just a quick second here. There's only basically one brand of soju that I can drink, and it's called Hwayo, and it's amazing. Kitty Cat, League of Ice is my super chat. Oh, shit. I thought I got them all. I know I owed. Wait, let's see. Crap. Kitty Cat, you're not in my list of super chats. How long ago was this? Give me a rough estimate of how long. Let me whiz on back here and see. 1, 2. What? I'm going way back in the Wayback Machine here. Aha. I found you. Sorry. You were right after Cherry and Max's Oops, I meant Korea. I got sidetracked on that. Thank you so much. And again, that's the deal. I've said this before and I'm saying it again. If you send me a super chat and I don't read it within 20 minutes or so, do this. Tell me I'm an idiot and to read the damn thing. Yeah, this was from almost exactly 20 minutes ago. Good job, Kitty Cat. We'll start with you. In all seriousness, I pray you have a wonderful vacation, blessed with loving family, good health, and precious memories. Well, thank you. That's very sweet. I will definitely do that. Thank you for that super chat. And thank you for reminding me that I didn't read it. I would have felt terrible if I hadn't have done so. And Ralph Waffles, Whistle Pig. I already told you that. 10-year rye, delicious. Enjoy it. Just me, or are you going to try to smoke? I've already read these. 2 for maybe, quite possibly. Chuck in Tennessee, new here. Why living in Korea? Oh, long story. Well, basically because I've worked for a law firm for 27 years here in Korea. I wanted to either be a public defender in Salt Lake City or do some international work, and I got the international job first. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I've been here for 26, 27 years. It was just a place I thought I wanted to come and work. Now I have to go all the way back down to the bottom of the chat here again. Well, all right. We're coming up on the end here. It is coming up on midnight my time. There's still a bunch of shit I got to do to get ready for my vacay. We had 400 of you that stuck around through this useless stuff at the end for when we're just shooting the shit and chit chatting. I appreciate that. And I'm gonna, as I said, I'm gonna check in as much as possible. I'll be putting pictures up in the community thing. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I will try to at least be around for a live stream. If I'm in somewhere within Wi-Fi range, I'm going to be out in the middle of the damn Utah desert for a good portion of the time. I'm going to be camping up in the mountains for a good portion of the time, so I may not be around. But Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I will release videos, and we'll do it on a premiere thing, like where you guys will still be able to come and join and watch it. They're fairly long. They range from, I think, about 30 minutes to 3 hours. So you guys can still chat with each other and have fun. Just make sure I still have a channel when I get back. And I think you might even be able to super chat me when I'm not here if you want to do that for some reason. They'll all be read when I get back. So if you all want to surprise me, just have like $1 billion in super chats while I'm gone. And, I'll never have to say that again. Anyway, just kidding. I do not expect that. We'll talk to you later, guys. Hey, there's no easy way to bail out on you for 2 weeks, but I do appreciate everything that everybody's done here in the past 6-7 weeks I've been doing this. Or has it been longer than that? Jeez. God, yeah, I guess it's been about 9 weeks, 9-10 weeks. I appreciate all of you. Love you, mods. My mods are the best mods around. You had a rough go of things today, and it's unfortunate that we had to get rid of one person forever and deal with the other person who showed himself out. That's unfortunate. You just got to check yourself. That's all. We have a serious lot of fun here in chat, but there are lines, and that line ends when it puts everybody in jeopardy. So apologies to the mods for having to deal with that. Apologies to you that had to see that and listen to my rant. But yeah, it's amazing how one person can throw a whole fucking show off the rails. It can distract me. It can piss off everybody in the chat and whatever. I mean, don't fucking fight with my mods, because I will always back, even if my mods are 100% in the wrong, which I doubt they are. But even if they were, I would still back my mods against all of you degenerates. Don't argue with the mods. You won't win. And again, he's like the second or third person ever to have to be banned for being a dickhead. But whatever. Be that as it may, you guys did well. I love my mods. Give the mods some love. Mods, give the other chatters some love. You're all great. You're all awesome. And dang, I hate to say this. This is like a big bummer. This is really like bumming me out to have to say this for at least the next 2 weeks. Everybody, until we're live together again, take care of yourself and enjoy your legal vices.